As a clinical psychologist, it baffles me that as the most intelligent species, we sometimes find it hard to learn from our mistakes, especially when it comes to love.
Just respect people.
I don't have to respect you, Alex. We're not together.
I want to help them break free.
Oh, sorry.
Rip that little puppy up.
In this experiment, I'm going to help people escape the cycle of damaging relationships where they make the same mistakes over and over again.
I don't feel as pretty as them.
I give too much of myself away too quickly.
I'm going to confront them by bringing them face to face with their ex-lovers, friends and family to reveal some harsh truths.
Do you think the way you looked was important to him?
Absolutely, yeah.
Too much?
Yes.
I think this might change their lives.
I did make it all about me.
Will it work?
You heard what Dan says, you know it, but do you believe it?
Just like the people coming to see me, I'm willing to give it a try.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm 25. I'm into gaming, cosplay, Monopoly, and card games as well. I've probably had about 7 relationships. What linked them all together was their inability to have an emotional connection with me. I've been to enough psychologists to know that sometimes you get the hard-hitting truths. Whether or not I'll take them is a different story, but I'm prepared to hear what he has to say.
Today I'm going to meet Emma. Emma has low self-esteem and poor self-confidence. She presents herself as somebody she's not. This is a common trait of people with low self-worth. Complying with the needs of others, people-pleasing.
Hi, Emma. How
Hi.
you going? I'm Cliff. How you going? Come on in. You can have that seat.
Today I want to unmask Emma. I want to present as her true self and address her own needs. You see, until Emma can do that, she's not going to experience balance or happiness in a relationship.
Well, start by telling me why you're here today.
I use sex quite a bit to manipulate and to get what I want. Sex is nothing to me. It's not, there's no love, it's not making love, it's just to get what I want and then that's it. And what I want is connection.
Are you okay with that?
No. Of course not. I'm over it. I'm sick of it.
I'm glad. 'Cause it means you can change. And it sounds like you're ready to.
I feel like I'm ready to. It is a bad habit, but in the long run, it doesn't hurt anybody but me. It doesn't hurt them. It only hurts me.
So first thing I want to do is I want to address that empty chair. I've been doing some homework and I thought in order to help you, I'd find other people who knew you and get their points of view on what's going on in your life as well. How do you feel about that?
It makes me nervous. I'm thinking, who's gonna come out? What are they gonna say about me? It's pretty confronting.
Tell me a bit about who you are. What are your hobbies and interests?
I'm really into cosplay.
Right. Can you tell me what that is?
So cosplay is when you take a character from TV, cartoons, games.
Yes.
And you dress up as them and you become them.
I see you've got this photo behind me of you as a young child. Snow White?
Yeah.
Did this start young?
My mum always used to say to me that I looked like Snow White, so she'd constantly be dressing me up as Snow White.
You've always been dressing up?
Yeah,
Right.
It's so much fun. You get to be someone else for a while.
But we're here to talk about your romantic relationships.
Cool.
Can you take me through your ex-partners from the start?
Let's start with Aaron.
Okay.
I was 14. It was a terrible relationship. And then Josh came along, which was my second boyfriend. I was with him for 3 years. I hurt him more than he hurt me. And then Kendall came along and we were together for 8 months. He cheated on me. After Kendall would be Ryan. if I was going through a real emotional problem,
Okay.
and he just didn't understand. After Ryan was Nick, I loved Nick with every fibre of my being, but he got bored with me. And then I had a few rebounds after Nick, which were Troy and I guess you could say Connor. Connor and I weren't exactly official, but we had a lot of back and forth during that time. And then Joe came along. I thought that things were fine when really they weren't. And then most recent, which was a total of, I think, a month's relationship, and that was with Brandon, who was just a little bit too young and naive. It's more when you delve into like reasons of why stuff happened. That's when things get a little bit more confronting.
How long during all that time have you been single?
I think I was single for about 2-3 years.
Okay. You've given me such a clear indication of who you are, and an honest one too. So next, what I'd like to do is I'd like to hear from somebody who knows you when you're in a relationship.
Joe dated Emma for 8 months and was initially attracted to her self-confidence, which over time faded. This is common for people pleasers who present a false front. The pretending only lasts so long and your real self is revealed, not the confident one you showed the other person at the beginning. And this is exactly what happened. Joe left and he's now found a new girlfriend. So out of respect for her, he's recorded a video message for Emma today.
Hi, I'm Joe. Emma and I dated for about 8 months.
So Joe came on the screen and I was like, oh no, what's gonna happen here?
Those 8 months were a lot of fun. Emma is a lovely person. Emma's biggest problem that she has to work on would be her confidence. Emma would often back down in confrontations with people, even if it was something that she felt strongly about. She just didn't have that confidence to back herself in anything. At the end of the relationship, we realized we were looking for different things. I wish Emma all the best and hope that she finds what she's looking for.
How can you say that we had mutual differences and that's why we broke up? Yeah, our mutual difference was I loved you, you didn't love me. Oh, what a difference. But he did have some valid points.
Joe said, you're a lovely person and a joy to be around. I want you to acknowledge this, because I'm seeing those exact qualities sitting in front of me today. Joe also said, your biggest problem is confidence.
I don't think I'm good enough. I become what they want. If the girlfriend they want is, sporty and funny and does everything for them, that's what I become. I become the perfect girlfriend.
What is the perfect girlfriend in your eyes?
Whatever the guy wants.
So, on the one hand, you're an expert on what guys want. What about what you want?
Just give me a guy that gets me, that I don't have to try. That what they want is me. So I don't have to pretend to be someone else because they've already got what they want, which is me. I guess I'm always scared that I'm not good enough, that what I have to give isn't going to be what they want.
Let's get another point of view here. I want to hear from someone who's been there for you through all the tears and joy.
Oh no, who is it? What are they doing? I was beyond nervous.
My name is Kirsty. I'm 26 and I'm Emma's best friend and have been for 10 years. I'm a little nervous going to see Emma today.
Kirsty and Emma have been through all of life's great challenges together, including the long list of men that Emma has changed herself to please. This is a common trait of people with low self-worth and low self-confidence, presenting a false front to please the person they're with, in a hope to fill that empty void and make yourself happier. It's never worked, and it never will. Another issue at stake here is friends sometimes aren't that honest with each other for fear of challenging the relationship. Well, today I'm going to ask Kirsty to challenge that relationship and be brutally honest with Emma and tell her exactly what she's doing wrong.
Emma's quite a strong person and she has a very strong personality, but I have no doubt in my mind that she could change if she really wanted to.
Hi, Kirsty.
The first thing I thought was, you idiot, what are you doing here? Like, it was just surprising to see her.
So, Kirsty, tell me about Emma.
She's exuberant and eccentric, and she's always been there for me, and it's been a great support, and I just can't replace her. She is very different to anyone you'll ever meet, and yeah, she's just one of a kind.
How would you describe her personality in a relationship?
She's very moldable. So in a relationship, she can be whoever she wants to be. But if the guy's a little bit more demanding, she will try and meet those demands. Say he's further away, she'll try and travel a bit more, instead of him making the effort to come to her, which she deserves.
What do you think she's relying on a partner for?
Emotional support, a lot of emotional support. They need to understand Emma and her complexities, and a lot of guys, I think, get scared away by that. Emma can rely on guys to kind of fix her problem, like maybe make her feel a little bit better. Emma suffers a lot with depression, and as my best friend, it's always hurt to see. When it comes to a boyfriend, or at least a good partner, they need to understand that while she has depression and she struggles with it, it doesn't define her.
We don't talk about, I guess, negatives in my court. Like, we're always trying to boost each other up and help each other, but we never really go, this is a bad thing, to each other.
Emma's talked to me about giving intimacy away far too quickly and far too frequently. What are your thoughts around that?
I wouldn't want to say it because I don't want to say it about my best friend, but she does. Emma is a very open person, very sexually open, very, here I am, this is who I am, take it or don't, whatever. The people that she dates seem to take advantage of that, think that that's all she's really there for. And so when the emotions do start to come forward and she really does start to get attached to these guys, they're like, oh no, this is not really what I signed up for, even though that's what you said you wanted. I just thought you didn't really want to.
What do you think Emma needs to do to find happiness in a meaningful relationship?
Stop looking, get off the dating sites, close it all down, go out a little more, and I think she'll find something of good value.
I think she's telling the truth there. That's definitely something my mother would say also.
Yeah, before I start crying. She looked like she took a lot of things on board, which is good. She's a beautiful person who deserves to be loved, and I think she'll find that out in the real world and not on the dating site.
I think there's a small issue that's starting to come up here, and that is that I will like me more if people like me more.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement.
And what happens is, if someone doesn't like me more and they leave me, because I haven't worked out who I am, I need the next person.
Yeah.
This is a dangerous game, isn't it?
It is. It's terrible.
Because success in this game is contingent on the next person being there.
Yeah, definitely is a pattern that I don't want to continue, that's for sure.
Emma, there's one last person I'd like to bring out today. A person I know who has different qualities than your normal setup. A person that may be able to give us a new perspective.
My stomach dropped.
My name is Connor. I am 23. Our relationship was always off and on, off and on, off and on.
Connor is an interesting twist to the Emma saga. He likes Emma just the way she is. The funny thing is, Emma mistreats him with the same disrespect she's received in her previous relationships.
I am terrified. I'm just really nervous. I feel like she might attack me.
Often when we've received mistreatment in past relationships, we mirror this in our future relationships because it's the only thing we know. I want Emma to acknowledge she's doing this to Connor, and to hear Connor when he tells her he loves her just the way she is, the true Emma.
I was just like, this is gonna get deep and I don't want it to.
I noticed you didn't stand up to give Connor a hug.
I guess I was shocked.
She was mortified.
Can you tell us how you met Emma?
We met through friends at a local game store.
The game store romance. Right, I like it.
When it all started, it was really, really good.
Yeah.
On again, off again, in between that relationship and fling phase. She's always very nervous, always wants to be the one with the spotlight. And there's moments where it's really, really good and it works out and you become elated. But then there's moments where it falls short and she thinks people don't approve of her and you eat yourself from within and then you get really, really upset. I hate that. When you bring any form of self-esteem issues into the light, it would definitely hurt because you imagine you're holding it all in and no one can really see it.
What's it like with Emma?
Our entire interactions were secret. Her friends didn't really like me, and I was always in the shadow.
Do you agree, Emma?
Yeah. That was just how we were. Being with him would cause a terrible rift with me and my friends. I don't want to have to deal with my friends going, what are you doing? You know, kind of thing. So I keep it on the down low.
Why?
Because they hate him. Kirsty just doesn't think he's good enough for me. Like, still to this day, he's not Connor in my phone. Because I'm still too terrified that anybody would see that I'm texting him.
It really wound me up the wrong way.
I know that those things hurt because they'd hurt me. And we're very similar. So back then, I didn't care. I didn't care that I hurt him because he was still there. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because it doesn't matter what I do because he's still there.
Doesn't that make him a friend?
Yeah, he's a friend.
Your friends have to accept that, and you have to stop trying to please them, just like you try and please other men.
I definitely have to learn to stand up for myself. If that is just saying to my friends, yes, I talk to Connor because he's my friend, then that's what I have to do. It's scary, but I have to learn to do that.
I feel like I shouldn't make all of that effort, even though I want to make that effort.
Why do you want to make it?
Because even if we're friends or even if we're anything more, it's worth doing all of that in the end.
The one guy that still stands by you is the guy that likes the real you.
And he probably didn't deserve the bullshit I put him through.
Maybe it's time to change his name in your phone.
I have to
And
change
be proud of him as a friend, like he's proud of you.
Being there with the psychologist and seeing it with my own eyes, it definitely hit her hard, and that's a good thing. But yeah, she can definitely change.
Cliff really nailed it on the head there. I did treat Connor like crap, and he didn't deserve it.
Both people we've had on here today not only confirmed things you've said, but they added more. When are you going to start seeing what you're worth?
Hopefully soon.
One of the first questions I asked you today was, how long have you been truly single? Nobody in your life.
Never.
Sorry?
And never with nobody.
You didn't say that at the beginning, did you?
No. Yeah. There's always been some sort of guy or fling, one night stand, just anything to fill the hole.
You see, my concern is that you've never given yourself time to know this person that Kirsty and Connor know so well. This is all congruent with the fact that you're a people pleaser.
Yeah, I've just got to learn to love myself, and before I can try and even think about being with someone else is work on me. I'm more important than anybody else, so stop thinking about them and start thinking about me.
There are a few tasks I'd really like you to take away today, and I'd really like you to put them into action if you can.
Yeah.
Each month, I want you to put one new goal up on your wall that has nothing to do with a romantic intention. Whether it's a random activity, a fitness activity, or just some new interest that adds value to your life. I also want you to take up a regular exercise regimen. We have phenomenal amounts of evidence that exercise is one of the most effective ways to deal with depression and anxiety. I don't mind if it's a morning walk, 5 minutes away from home, 5 minutes back. Go do some fitness classes. Meet some people who don't know you and show up as your true self.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
I want you to not date for a minimum of 3 months, meaning no sex
For 3 months.
for 3 months.
Okay.
Learn to interact with men without the need for their approval or their attention.
I'd like that.
I want you to build your self-worth.
It definitely sounds good. What's that saying? You know, you need to learn to love yourself before you love someone else. That's what I felt like. That was the kind of end game.
You're a beautiful, smart, loving, caring, and creative woman. But I don't believe you see that in the mirror.
I don't.
So right here today, I want you to take off that wig. I want you to be comfortable to sit in front of me as you.
Taking the wig off was releasing whatever fake facade that I've put on to the world, that I try to give out.
How do you feel?
A little bit more emotional than I thought. But I feel good.
I want you to tell me right now that you deserve to be loved exactly for who you are.
I deserve to be loved for exactly who I am.
Stronger.
I deserve to be loved for exactly who I am.
How'd that feel?
Like I can do this.
Yeah. I think you can.
Yeah. I'm stronger than I think. I am absolutely excited to actually do this. I really want to change, and these few little steps are going to help me be a better person. And who cares about guys? It's all about me.
I often come across people who have an intense need to please their partners. If I don't please this person, they won't love me. If I don't change for them, they'll leave me. Well, it doesn't work because the true self is eventually revealed. What I'm hoping is this has triggered Emma's brain today to realise that this behaviour is driving people away. Now, I know that Rome wasn't built in a day, and I don't expect Emma to suddenly have magnificently new self-esteem. What I do hope is she takes on board the messages she's received and learns day by day to be more and more comfortable in her true self.